Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that's been buzzing around the movie world lately. Have you ever sat down to watch a new action-adventure franchise film and felt like you were back in school, trying to catch up on homework? Well, you're not alone. From Marvel to DC, many franchises are making us do our homework before we can enjoy their latest blockbuster. But guess what? There's a glimmer of hope in this cinematic homework frenzy, and it comes from none other than the Mad Max prequel, Furiosa. Stick around as we explore why George Miller's latest installment is a breath of fresh air for franchise cinema. Franchise cinema and the homework dilemma. First, let's talk about what I mean by homework in the context of watching movies. When we refer to homework, we're talking about all the previous movies, spin-offs, and sometimes even TV shows you need to watch to fully understand the latest installment of a franchise. The Marvel Cinematic Universe MCU is a prime example. To grasp the full story of The Marvels, you'd need to have seen several Disney Plus shows and previous films. This trend has left many casual fans feeling exhausted and out of the loop. It's like being in a never-ending class where the syllabus keeps expanding. Remember when we just went to the movies to be entertained? Now, it feels like a part-time job keeping up with all the interconnected plots, characters, and Easter eggs. You miss one film, one episode, and suddenly you're lost. This can make going to the movies feel more like a chore than a fun escape. The state of the box office. Now, in a post-COVID world, the box office has been a roller coaster. Expectations of what constitutes a hit have drastically changed. In 2019, Disney released 6 films that each grossed over $1 billion. Fast forward to now, and even Marvel's juggernaut isn't hitting those numbers, with Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and others underperforming. Meanwhile, movies like Top Gun, Maverick, Barbie, and The Super Mario Bros. Movie have taken audiences by storm, suggesting a shift in what people want to see. Think about it. Top Gun, a sequel to a 1986 film, managed to resonate without demanding you remember every detail of the original. Barbie and The Super Mario Bros. Movie tapped into nostalgia and universal appeal without requiring a backlog of knowledge. It's clear audiences crave a mix of familiarity and fresh experiences without the heavy lift of homework. Furiosa, no homework required. Enter George Miller's Furiosa, the highly anticipated prequel to Mad Max: Fury Road. Unlike many franchise films today, Furiosa doesn't require you to have a PhD in Mad Max lore to enjoy it. Set before the events of Fury Road, the film follows Furiosa, played by Anya Taylor-Joy, on her journey from the green place to a warlord's clutches. The beauty of Furiosa lies in its simplicity and accessibility. Whether you're a die-hard fan or a newcomer, you can dive right in without feeling lost. Miller's storytelling, coupled with his visually stunning action sequences, makes for an experience that stands alone. Let's dive deeper into the story. Furiosa is snatched away from her home, the Green Place, and falls into the hands of a ruthless warlord, Dementus, played by Chris Hemsworth. This journey is not just a physical one across a desolate wasteland, but an emotional and transformative odyssey. She vows to avenge her mother's death, while under the control of a cult leader, Immortan Joe. With the help of Praetorian Jack, a military commander played by Tom Burke, she navigates this harsh landscape. On the surface, this plot might seem dense, but Miller's brilliance is in how he crafts the story. The narrative is straightforward, the characters are compelling, and the action is relentless. There's no need to dig into past movies or side stories to understand the stakes. It's pure, unadulterated cinema. The critical reception and box office performance. Despite its merits, Furiosa has struggled at the box office. Critics and audiences have speculated that franchise fatigue might be to blame. Franchise fatigue is real, folks. It's that feeling of being overwhelmed by the sheer volume of content and interconnected stories. It's no wonder that some amazing films get lost in the shuffle. Furiosa deserves better than to be lumped into the category of films that demand too much from their audience. The film's underperformance is not a reflection of its quality, but perhaps a sign that audiences are tired of the homework associated with big franchises. When people hear it's a prequel, they might assume they need to watch all the previous Mad Max films to understand it. But that's simply not the case here. Furiosa stands on its own, much like its titular character, strong and independent. The genius of George Miller. George Miller is a master of his craft. He's given us some of the most iconic and visually stunning films of the past few decades. Furiosa is no exception. Let's talk about the visuals. Miller's films are known for their jaw-dropping action sequences, and Furiosa delivers in spades. The car chases, the stunts, the practical effects, it's a feast for the eyes. Miller doesn't rely heavily on CGI, which gives the film a raw, gritty feel that's often missing in today's blockbuster landscape. His approach to filmmaking is like watching a silent film with sound, minimal dialogue, maximum impact. This style allows the visuals and the actions of the characters to tell the story. It's a refreshing break from the expository dialogue that bogs down many modern films. Instead of explaining every little detail, Miller shows us. And that's a huge part of why Furiosa works so well. Why you should watch Furiosa. So, why should you give Furiosa a chance? For starters, George Miller is a master of his craft. The film's action scenes are nothing short of breathtaking, and the narrative, while intricate, is compelling and easy to follow. Miller's approach to filmmaking is like watching a silent film with sound, minimal dialogue, maximum impact. Plus, you don't need to rewatch the entire Mad Max saga to understand and enjoy this film. If you're looking for a movie that combines stunning visuals, gripping action, and a standalone story, Furiosa is your ticket. The broader impact on franchise films. Let's zoom out and look at the broader impact Furiosa could have on franchise films. If Furiosa succeeds, it could set a new standard for how franchise films are made and marketed. Imagine a world where filmmakers focus on making great standalone movies first and worrying about the extended universe second. This could be a game changer. Audiences are sending a clear message. We're tired of doing homework. We want to enjoy movies without feeling like we need to study beforehand. Furiosa is a perfect example of how to do this right. It respects its audience's time and intelligence, offering a thrilling, self-contained story that doesn't demand extensive prior knowledge. The future of the Mad Max franchise. Looking ahead, what does this mean for the future of the Mad Max franchise? If Furiosa performs well on VOD and gains a strong following, it could pave the way for more standalone stories within this universe. George Miller has already hinted at more Mad Max films, and it's exciting to think about what he could do next. Imagine exploring other characters and corners of this post-apocalyptic world, without the burden of connecting every dot. This could lead to more creative freedom, and, ultimately, better films. Furiosa is just the beginning, and I can't wait to see where Miller takes us next. Final thoughts and viewer engagement. Ultimately, you can't force anyone to invest their time and resources in seeing Furiosa at their local theater. But I hope I've convinced you to give it a chance. It's a cinematic experience that stands on its own merits, free from the chains of excessive lore and backstory. When the new George Miller post-apocalyptic desert odyssey lands on VOD, more and more people will experience the thrill of Furiosa and lament over not seeing it in theaters. And that's the magic of a truly great film. It transcends the need for homework and offers something universally enjoyable. So, if you're tired of the cinematic homework blues, do yourself a favor and check out Furiosa. You won't regret it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more movie insights and reviews. Let me know in the comments if you've seen Furiosa and what you thought of it. See you next time. Alright, folks, that's it for today's deep dive into Furiosa and the state of franchise cinema. Remember, Movies are meant to be enjoyed, not studied. Until next time, keep watching, keep enjoying, and keep the conversation going. This is your channel name, signing off.